Okay, finally. So this is another drawing. I was watching a Spongebob video. It was just like a collection of episodes from mostly season 1 to 3, and then it came to the episode where it was like a boating episode, the part where they had to do the essay, and the fish goes, "Did you hear that? It's 800 words." And I thought that was so funny, and I was like, you know what? I want to draw this. So my drawing process isn't anything crazy. In this step, clearly I'm starting out with the sketch. And I don't really plan anything out in the beginning. Like the idea of the perspective and how I want to alter the poses based on the scene in the picture. That just comes literally right on the spot. My finger slipped there. I spelled out Spongebobo, and then for a little while I was laughing at that, so I just kept the layer to say Spongebobo. So I'm erasing this part because I realize it might get in the way of the perspective of his desk. So yeah, I hid that layer of him, and then I created a new layer to just draw just the desk. So both desks beside each other, it looks right as far as the perspective I'm using. So I wouldn't mess it up, and then I have to draw around SpongeBob's body. So this is the first round of the line art. Now I don't trigger the part with the brush where you can increase the smoothness of the line. Like it's not like it doesn't work for me, but I'm just so used to doing traditional drawing so much that I don't know, it like triggering that smooth part, it kind of gets in the way of me drawing it. And plus, like later on in the video, I'll do like another round of line art. So this is just the first round, and then once the second round comes, that's where I start cleaning up the lines, doing like a particular kind of style that I do with my drawings. And you'll also notice that I'm drawing like kind of on the left side of the screen. It's because I drew the hell out of the center of my drawing tablet. Like there's like it's just all scratched up and well not way scratched up, but enough to where you can feel it if you're putting the pen on the surface. So I either just gotta use up the left side or the right side, which you'll see in the video, or I just gotta go ahead and buy a new tablet because I've had this tablet since like 2017. I mean, but it still works. I will use it to the ground until it dies, but I know eventually, if all the if the whole surface is just scratched up, then yeah, I gotta get a new tablet. a part of the second round of the line art that I was talking about. Yeah, every corner, well, not every corner. I used to do it when I was younger. Like every corner, I would make it fatter on the drawing. But nowadays, I just do some of them that would make sense to me. Because back in the day, when this style just kind of came to me, it would be, I don't know who I picked it up from or what cartoon or whatever I picked it up from, but I did the thick outline of the character. And then over time, it became less about the outline and more about stylizing every line that I felt like needed to be thicker or thinner. And I know the pen can do that because when you put the pressure on it, obviously it gets fatter. But I like to add a little more than that the pen can't do. And I don't mind doing that as a second round. Even if I have to do another round or another round or another round, I'ma do it until it looks right to me. here's the coloring part of it. I sped it up like a lot because you already know what coloring looks like. And I pulled all these colors from a screenshot of that particular scene where they're actually doing this very pose. But some colors actually aren't that accurate because I felt like they were either a little too light or a little too dark. But yeah, I sped this coloring bit up a whole lot because if you don't know how coloring goes down, then I don't know what to tell you. Mm, this is just, yeah, the green thing is just for me to see any little pixels I missed out on. Yeah, this is just a quick cleanup before I start the shadows and the lighting. Yeah, so I'ma just say it now. I'm not a super big genius on how lighting is supposed to be casted accurately. Like, this is just pretty much, I've had like the same technique for a very long time when I started, or even started doing digital illustrations. It was just like one hard ass spotlight, and that was about it at the time. But yeah, this is the first step that I've been doing since forever. I create the hard shadows, and then later on, I will be doing the highlights of where the light's casted. And recently, I just picked up the technique where there is like a backlight. But yeah, this is pretty much it. It ain't gonna be anything crazy, but this is how my technique is.
No less than 800 words.
Oh.
Did you hear that? 800 words!
Yeah, I know.
Ah.
Ugh.